Growing up is hard, and sometimes it forces you to say or do some things that you never wanted to do in the first place. You push away friends from high school, or you get a dead-end job. You cut your food from Lunchables to cardboard pizzas. You force yourself to act mature, but you never feel as if you quite get there. Hi, I'm Rose, and at 23, that's kind of where I'm at in life. So I take every chance that I get to never let that inner kid die. I wear fun-colored socks. When I feel like it's been a rough week, I buy myself those Lunchables or Uncrustables. I play those games that made me feel like I was special, and I listen to that cringy music with my volume at max.
The fuck do you mean it's 20 years old? That can't be. Shut the fuck up.
But another thing that I do is I keep up with modern cartoons, from He-Man to My Little Pony all the way to the new DrKelleh. So, as a way to spice up your life and maybe send you on an adventure that you haven't had since you were a kid, I created a list of 10 amazing cartoons that you should watch as an adult, or a teen even, if you're looking to keep that inner child alive as you go into that adulthood. So let's get into it. Starting us off with DuckTales 2017. DuckTales 2017 was that special kind of show that just hit just right when you needed it. It's the milkshake and fries combo of TV shows. You never thought it could be good, but surprisingly, it was. The show features an all-star cast from David Tennant to Lin-Manuel Miranda, Ben Schwartz, Danny Pudi, Bobby Moynihan, and Kate Micucci, who fill out their roles with perfect emotion, delivery, and honestly, some of the most real performances I've seen in recent years. The show's animation's great. It tends to focus on characters and their expressiveness and how they should move and act per character, rather than having one person do a specific shot, which is more common nowadays. Season 1 contains the mystery of Huey, Dewey, and Louie's lost mother, Della Duck, as well as the mystery of Webby's friend, Lena. The season wraps with a pretty fun and action-packed finale that leaves you wanting more. The show has officially ended, and while I'm saddened to see it go, I am left satisfied with what I got. There are some parts in the last season that seem kind of sudden or go a little ham-fisted, but nothing that made me feel like I was wasting my time. Here's hoping for some more TV movie kind of things, like with Phineas and Ferb. From Disney shows to Disney movie shows, Tangled the animated series is a phenomenal continuation of the story originally shown in its 2010 counterpart. Now, fair warning, this series actually follows a TV movie called Tangled Before Ever After, which I accidentally skipped and watched after the events of season 1. Honestly though, I think it made it better, and in my head that's how it should be watched. I'm not actually even sure if that's how it might have been released that way. I'm gonna be real, I don't know. The series has some really good character development. Also, by the way, I managed to get all the original cast back to voice their characters, and it has some amazing side characters in Cassandra and Varian. It digs deep into the characters, and despite already knowing where they're going to end up and where the tale ends due to the end of the original movie, you never feel like you're trapped in a narrative box. Fair warning, season 2 does have a couple of dry episodes, but I think that in the end, the entire series is worth it. The finale wraps up everything just fine, and the final season does not mess around. The comedy is on point, the music is stellar, and the plot keeps you excited. So grab some tissues, some snacks, and some earworm removers, because Tangled the animated series is a must-watch for Disney fans. Something old brought back with the same name kind of seems to be the cartoon game nowadays, and while there are some really good, amazing new original shows out there, I think there's for sure a case to be made of some really good reboots. This is one of those. She-Ra, the Princess of Power, is not your flower child animation for little girls. She-Ra is a fresh take on an old series with an incredibly addicting world, great art design, and deep themes running through it. Adora escapes her fascist rulers that she's known since birth and finds out that she is the next big hero and has to figure out how to save the world, what is even morally right of mankind, and how to save those that she loves while also being forced to fight them. This series does a great job of showing that just because something is painted as evil doesn't necessarily mean that all who follow it are. And if you like action, adventure, and world building, then this show is for you. I still feel this show could use a movie to wrap up some of it, but it wraps up well enough that I feel like it could be worth your while. From child soldiers to child detectives, meet Dipper and Mabel Pines, the Pine siblings in Disney's hit show Gravity Falls. This show's inspired by the mystery from the 90s and 80s, such as Twin Peaks and The X-Files. It gives the Mystery of the Week format to the sleepy town of Gravity Falls. If you've never seen this show before or even heard of it, I highly suggest that you try and decode any messages that you find after each episode, or if that's too much work, then you can just read along with the wiki and make sure that you take breaks after every few episodes to kind of let the mystery sink in. The payoff of this show had me in utter tears when I first watched it, and now when I look at it and I see its books and all of its comics and stuff on the side, I feel this sense of pride for having been there for the best part of the mystery and for some of the best mystery that we'll ever get in cartoons, as well as some of the most realistic early teenage years writing. The art style will grow on you, by the way, and before you know it, you'll be quoting everything and starting to see like so many quirky little nods to it all over the internet. Gravity Falls is a must-watch show, and I would suggest you relive it. After writing about Gravity Falls, I was very tempted to put The Owl House, but unfortunately, I can't put it on this list. While at the time of the recording, the show is really good and definitely worth a watch, Star vs. the Forces of Evil kind of burnt me out on recommending shows before they ever reached their finales. Instead, I'm going to give you another show that I think has a fun world, art style, mystery, and animation. However, I warn you that it isn't for everybody. What time is it?
Adventure time! Come on, grab your friends, we'll go to very distant lands.
Adventure Time is a cartoon that is hard to describe. Sometimes it can be a silly, goofy show for kids, and other times it can be a gut punch that left me depressed after thinking about dark themes of memory loss, dementia, orphan children, and the unwavering passage of time. Soon. This show is a variety, but honestly, if you want to save some time, I would highly suggest that you go down into the description of this video and you look at this Reddit post that I found of all the lower heavy episodes. If you feel you need to like watch more Finn and Jake after that, you can just, there's a whole bunch of episodes you never saw. It's just, you just invert it. You go, oh man, it says skip to episode 11. Well, then I got episode 1 through 10 to watch, you know? Like, it's the best. It's the best. And if you feel like you need even more of that, HBO Max picked up the show for future installments such as Adventure Time BMO, Obsidian, Together Forever, and I think it's called Wizard City. I haven't actually watched it as of the time of recording this. I'm probably going to watch it after because I've been meaning to. But they're hour-long specials that wrap up the story even more and tell you more about the characters. And on top of that, there is a new Adventure Time series that's going to be coming out in the future, but there's not enough on it yet, and I'm not going to recommend it until it's over. Adventure Time features action, features artistic ideas, and deep, heavy themes. It also has some amazing gay rap, some baller music, and some pretty mathematical moments. That's a reference to the show that you'll get later if you never watched. Just watch it. Hey. Hi. This is Rose from the future while I'm editing this. And did you guys know that I'm dropping merch right now? This isn't going to take more than 30 seconds. So just quickly, if you'd like to support me, you can support me on Patreon. You can support me by the merch in the description down below. And that's it. Get back to the video. Bye! This is a bit of a personal inclusion. When I was younger, I refused to watch follow-up shows like Ben 10 Alien Force because in my mind they were not the thing I'm used to, but I since grew out of that phase and I chose to watch it. Honestly, while I may not suggest this for like adults who've like never watched Ben 10, considering that Ben 10 was like one of the highest viewed shows in Cartoon Network history, I would highly suggest that you watch it if you watched the original Ben 10. If you're like, you know, an adult like me who like kind of got out of cartoons for a little bit right after Ben 10. Yeah, I'd suggest that you get back into it. In this series, Gwen and Ben explore the world and lore that was left after Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, the movie, and it explores a world where the two have mastered their abilities a little bit better. Obviously, they don't know everything, and the Omnitrix is still kind of a mystery. But hey, even Kevin 11 comes along for the ride as a regular member, and his whole attitude brings a completion to the original group that was sorely needed. I know this one's a little bit of a short answer, but if I tell you any more, I'll kind of spoil it. The action's great. The story is a bit more teen drama in my opinion, but I didn't leave disappointed. Honestly, I would love to hear if you guys like never watched the original and you start watching on Alien Force. Like, please tell me what you think of it, because I'm legitimately curious if one, you get anything, and two, if you enjoy it. So if you've done that, like go do that and let me know in the comment section, because I legitimately want to know, and who knows, maybe I'll make a Ben 10 video one day. Now, hear me out. Some of you may be older than 23. Some of you maybe stopped watching cartoons in like 2002 or the 90s or even the 80s. Hell, if you're older than that, then I have an entirely larger list for you. But in case that you were the kind that stopped watching before it came out, or a newer teen that likes old cartoons but needs recommendations, Justice League Unlimited is a show for you. DC superheroes at their best. Honestly, this series loves to capture deeper themes, hold longer character arcs, grow its characters, and all around treat characters with respect. Something that you may be missing from all these live action movies nowadays. I'm gonna lay my cards on the table. I like X-Men, Gwenpool, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. I never really read DC comics all that much because I wasn't able to understand them, and now it's just a chore for me to read them without years of pre-attachment. So this series is a much needed thing in my life. It helps me see a world where Green Lantern isn't Ryan Reynolds in a bad suit, or The Flash isn't a mediocre CW series. That's right, I fucking said it, come at me. Although, side note, while we're talking about live action stuff, since I'm shitting on a lot of it, I think Gotham was pretty great, and I liked that. Correction, I liked Jerome. I only liked Jerome. Well, I liked the Riddler a little bit. Well, Edward Enigma. Okay, let's continue. If you want to see a good action series based with good superheroes in a world that won't bog you down with backstories, fake stakes, hyperrealism, or patting you on the head going, "Good child, you understand simple concept. Supervillain bad, hero good. Yeah?" Justice League Unlimited is for you. Everyone who already loves cartoons, which let's be real is 90% of the people watching this, know where I'm going to have to take this before we end this whole list. And I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to kind of fix something that I think people do, and I think people need to stop doing. Avatar: The Last Airbender is an amazing series and is one that I suggest that you watch if you love young adventure stories and have a boner for world building. The characters are a little bit stale for the first few episodes, but once the ball gets rolling, then the ball really gets rolling. The perfect show to binge or watch in several little bits. Avatar: The Last Airbender is solid, and I will note that there is a mystery at the end that never really gets solved in the series, but there was a comic for that if you really want to know. You can Google it or you can read the comic. But if you watch this, I also recommend Overanalyzing Avatar. It's a channel that's dedicated to noting like animation details, pointing out special things like small half-frame character glimpses that you don't really notice. And there's a lot of things that rewatching it has given me a new appreciation for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Highly suggest it. The channel description will be in the description down below. But before I move on, you would be doing yourself a disservice, as well as the creators of this show a disservice, if you didn't look at Korra. If you just flat out ignored it. I will admit that there's some flawed writing in The Legend of Korra, but I disagree on where. Most people see it in the last few episodes of the season 2 finale, but I disagree. I think it's within the final few episodes of the series, but it wraps up well. However, that doesn't stop me from saying that if you like Avatar, you may also like Korra. If you are more casual than the lore hounds that call out the show, then I think that you'll enjoy it for its fun action, stellar animation, and season 3 should be an especially good treat for you because I believe it contains the best Avatar villain in Zahir. That being said, I'm not going to talk anymore about it because I don't want to spoil it, honestly. And I will just simply say that these two shows are well worth the watch. Now, originally, I was going to put Final Space here because I personally love the show, and while writing the show, got canceled before the series finale. That's fun. Olden Rogers is still looking to get a VR game or a graphic novel somewhere, but there's no confirmation yet. And like I said earlier, I was going to put the Owl House here, but it also got ended early. And while, you know, the third season's going to happen, it will unfortunately have to be rushed. Lastly, I was going to put BoJack Horseman here, but I seriously couldn't bring myself to recommend that to you if you don't have time to sink into the show. Although if you do have time, consider it. So I'm kind of stuck with the question of what is a good show that adults and teens could get into? Something that's funny, keeping attention, but doesn't require a lot of time thinking about it. Not stupid like Family Guy, and not immature like Gumball. Not stereotyped like My Little Pony, or overly heavy with everything like Infinity Train. Hell if I know. Wait, Hell of a Boss. Yes, Hell of a Boss. While this isn't a TV show per se, it also isn't technically done. I both need a series to round off this video, and I wanted to show more love to Spindle Horse. Season 1 of Hell of a Boss is being wrapped up as of the writing of this video, which is Halloween 2021. Hello! It's got a fun voice cast, stellar and sometimes mind-blowing animation, and an art style that goes so hard that Bob Ross no longer needs to beat the devil out of any of his brushes. And music that is both modern and catchy. The team is a group of passionate newcomers to the industry, as well as some of animation's industry vets. They are carving a name for themselves in a world so full of Adult Swimses and Netflixes, and I refuse to spoil anything about this. But if you aren't caught by the second episode called Lululand, then it's safe to say that this show may not be for you. But if you do give it a shot, I think that you will have one hell of a good time. Get it? Like the show name. I'm sorry. And that's my list. I need to clarify again that this is a list for adults returning to cartoons, and my suggestion of where to start depending on certain things that you may like and may have liked in cartoons in the past. If you'd like to see a list of cartoons aimed at kids that you may like and why, then let me know in the comments down below. And remember the rule of cartoons in general: don't judge it by its art style, judge it by its writing, judge it by its voicing and its pacing. Also, I feel like this is worth clarifying that there's a lot of Disney love on this list, but that doesn't mean necessarily that Disney makes the best shows, because like Star versus the Forces of Evil exists, and I will keep shitting on that until the day I Oh, God damn it. Wait a minute. Where am I?
Okay, all right. That's a little bright. Can we turn that down, maybe?
My apologies. Turning down brightness.
What the fuck?
Where am I?
You are in a detainment cell.
Okay, why?
Because you are under arrest.
For what?
The hating of Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Sorry, what?
The council has decided that your quote-unquote critique of Star versus the Forces of Evil is invalid and seen as a hate crime.
What? All right. Good prank. It's done now. You got your laughs. Now tell me where the fuck I am, and I'm gonna go now.
You're in a detainment cell, and you can't leave.
Okay, you seem new to this whole prank thing. It's done. I'm going home. Goodbye.
I wouldn't do that.
And why not?
That's why you will be brought before the court at noon for your invalid opinion, and then pending execution.
What the fuck?
Please refrain from using profanity.
Fuck you.
Well, should you need it, there's a bathroom on the left. Just exit your cell and go down the hallway.
And what about the electrocuted bars that I just fried myself on?
Oh, right. Organics. So weird. Disabling electronic fence now. Have a nice night.
What the fuck is going on? Wait, did they just say I could leave my cell? No. They're not that dumb, right? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. And the door is open. You guys are fucking stupid. See ya.